No, but survival of the fittest, pandas should be extinct.
Yeah, but they're not, 'cause they're so cuddly and cute. Hello, welcome to Game On, the show that is really looking forward to reviewing Deus Ex. It's going to be a blinder.
No.
It's going to be a blinder.
We can't, it's embargoed.
What, we can't this week?
No, not this week.
Dad, I've got the arm thing on. That's for Deus Ex.
I literally have no words. I have no words.
What's coming up then?
Oh, take that off, then I'll tell you.
Not taking it off.
We take Driver San Francisco's multiplayer for a test spin.
A Laura news from Azeroth to Hong Kong to Borderlands.
And a rundown of who's up for what at this year's Golden Joystick Awards.
First up today, it's time to fasten your seatbelts, safety first Dan, as always, rev your engines and prepare for a bumpy ride.
Or in your case, prepare to stall a couple of times and then take the bus.
Whatever. Backseat driver.
Backseat Driver San Francisco.
Ubisoft's Driver San Francisco is now less than a month away, so we thought we'd take its multiplayer mode for a spin to see if it'll be a smooth ride or a bit of a car crash.
Are you about ready to give up this driving metaphor? You know, the whole thing, it's...
You're right, I probably should drop it down a gear or two.
Oh.
Yes. Thanks.
Well, you'd be forgiven for expecting nothing particularly new from an action driving game like Driver San Francisco. It can be a genre that's ultimately mindless gaming or requires too much attention to be any good at.
But Ubisoft has actually managed to create something that seems oh so simple, yet fascinatingly effective and enjoyable in their multiplayer tag mode.
The rules are straightforward. Rather than the typical school playground tag where you avoid being it, something Nat generally failed to do.
That's because I was it. I was it.
An it girl.
No, well, I wasn't a girl, was I? So I was an it boy.
An it boy. Anyway, in Driver you have to remain it in order to win the game. Hold on to the coveted pronoun title for long enough to reach 100 points and it's game over for your pursuers.
But it's how you can become it where the tag mode really becomes fun. In a nutshell, you have to crash into the previous it to become the leader of the pack, to become it.
To become it, yeah. In a more complicated way, you must master the art of shifting in order to stay ahead of the game. But what, pray tell, is shifting, we hear you ask?
Hello? Yeah, thought so. Yeah, bye.
Who was that?
That was them asking what, pray tell, is shifting.
Well, you should tell them. It's the ability to jump from the car you're in into any other car on the map in order to strategically head off your opponents.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, it's the ability to jump from the car you're controlling and into any other car on the map in order to strategically head off your opponents. Yeah. Yeah, love to them too. Bye.
But the game-changing power of shift, whew, that is the great equalizer.
Shifting isn't limited to Driver's tag mode and can be used in certain races as well. But the combination of such an old-school game with a unique twist looks set to be the jewel in the multiplayer crown that is Driver San Fran's multiplayer mode.
And although it may sound like a perk that could make the game too easy, trust us, it's not.
Shifting takes skill.
And you'll often find yourself jumping into a car that, once you've got it up to speed, is already miles behind the tagged player.
Similarly, you have to be lightning fast. If you spot the perfect car to shift to, you can guarantee one of your opponents has seen it too.
Hey, whatever is best suited for your current objective.
When this concept was first discussed way back at E3 2010, it seemed a bit gimmicky.
Almost like a desperate attempt to breathe life into a driving game that lacks the real sandbox element of a GTA and the hardcore racing of something like Gran Turismo.
But after giving it a go, it is in fact the feature that makes the game something totally new and unexpected.
Yeah, we should point out we haven't actually tried the single-player mode of Driver San Francisco, but if the multiplayer is anything to go by, it's definitely something worth getting very excited about.
Now, it's time for something we haven't done for a while. It's news in briefs. Nat, are you wearing the correct underwear?
Dan, I'm naked from the waist down. You can see. You can see.
Just saw, I know. Oh. Kicking us off, some true news about true crime.
Earlier in the year, the third title in the series, True Crime Hong Kong, was dubbed a cold case by publisher Activision.
What does that mean?
They binned it. It's an expression.
I see. But now, like a video game phoenix from the publishing ashes, it has been pulled back from the brink, all thanks to Square Enix.
Yes, Squeenix's London studios have agreed to increase the level of true crime in consoles, but at a price.
Activision will still own the True Crime name, so expect a rebrand.
Maybe they could call it Verified Violations of the Law.
No.
VVOL? Vivol?
Vivol?
Yeah.
Sounds like a water-dwelling rodent.
A vole. Next up, Borderlands 2. It is happening and could be with us as soon as next year. Cause for celebration, Dan.
Fantastic news. A sequel to the surprise hit of 2009 has been confirmed by publisher Take-Two, and it'll be on display at Gamescom later this month.
Number 2 promises new characters, new weapons, environments and skills, as well as better enemy AI. All the normal things that you'd expect in a sequel.
In an improvement, yeah. And the early artwork shows a similar bold, colourful, cartoony style.
But best of all, ludicrously massive guns. Ludicrous.
Bit like mine? No.
Next up, hey Rambo, Rambo Italiano. It's the...
Yeah, well, that kind of explains that Rambo, the super soldier with Botox, is making a return to the gaming world.
That's what I said in the song.
British publishers Reef Entertainment are drawing first blood in the matchup between Sly Stallone and HD consoles.
The game promises obviously to have a higher body count than seems strictly necessary.
Now we're just wondering, will it be a hit or a bit of another expendable title?
Brilliant. Brilliant, Dan. By which I mean not brilliant.
Give this job to my friend here. He loves playing in the jungle, right?
Right. It's his problem.
Now, are there any World of Warcraft fans out there?
There are over 12 million WoW subscribers, so I do hope so.
You say wow, so you're fanboy, level 1. There could be a 4th expansion pack on its way very soon.
Yep.
Excitement.
Fantastic again. Publishers Blizzard have filed copyright for something called Mists of Pandaria.
Pandaria, of course, being the home of the Pandaren.
They sound like giant panda bears.
Yeah, pretty much exactly what they are, except these ones aren't trying to cull themselves by not being very horny.
What?
That's evolutionary theory gag, so...
Darwin.
And finally, closing off our brief news...
Or news in briefs.
No brief, Stan.
Oh, it winked at me.
Call of Duty Elite, you know, that upcoming online subscription thingy that no one's really sure what it actually is or why we need it?
Yeah, well, it's just found a purpose through shameless celebrity endorsement.
But an endorsement we can get on board with.
Because it comes from Will Arnett and Jason Bateman.
Yeah, who play feuding brothers Michael and Job in the brilliant sitcom Arrested Development.
Arrested Development, which is no longer with us.
Yeah, God rest its hilarious soul.
You know it's true. Everything I do. Please don't do this. I do it for you.
The pair will produce exclusive videos for elite gamers, which oddly doesn't seem to relate to Call of Duty in any way.
But hell, if it means more Arrested Development style tomfoolery, we're not complaining.
If only they'd hurry up and make the film.
I asked.
Is there going to be an Arrested Development movie?
I hope so, yeah, I think so, yeah. I just heard from you that there was going to be.
I heard from you,
Yeah,
so...
Right, well, we heard from each other.
I think it was official a few days ago that Mitch Hurwitz is almost done with the script and he wants to shoot it this year, so I can't wait.
Tell me there's going to be an Arrested Development movie.
Well, really
Sign up to it right now.
I've been encouraging Mitch Hurwitz, who created the show, and would also direct the movie, and he's very serious about it, but he's also been involved in some TV shows that he was passionate about. Those have run their course, and I think he's available now. But I'm like a lot of fans now. I'll sort of believe it when I see it.
There is going to be an Arrested Development
movie.
Movie.
You heard it first.
And finally, the nominations are out for this year's Golden Joystick Awards, putting Golden Joy into everyone's stick. I think you'll agree, Dan.
Yep, the oldest gaming awards in the world.
Yeah, world, official.
Which let you, the gamer, decide who wins.
Let's take a look at some of the big clashes in the big categories and who's up for the prize, the ultimate prize of Ultimate Game of the Year.
The best shooter category has a varying amount of styles. You've got your horror shooters like Dead Space and Fear 3, alongside the sci-fi Halo Reach and Crysis 2.
Of course, there's also the obligatory Call of Duty, this year represented by Black Ops.
There's even space for, surprisingly enough, rubbish games, with Brink up for Best Shooter, rather than the award for Worst AI in the world ever. Harsh.
If you lose all your health, you will be incapacitated.
The frontrunners for the action-adventure gong are definitely Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, L.A. Noire and Portal 2.
All very good games, and it really would be difficult to choose between our favourites.
Of course, though, we should never misunderestimate the dark horse that is Donkey Kong Country Returns. In the Ultimate Game of the Year category, a whopping 20 titles will compete to be your favourite.
Amongst them are ACB, L.A. Noire, Portal 2 and Black Ops.
As well as the remastered Ocarina of Time 3D.
The great thing about looking at this list is that it makes you realise what a good year of games we've actually had.
Doesn't it, Dan?
It really does.
Doesn't it? There is one massive surprise about this category, though.
And what's that?
I cannot believe Duke Nukem Forever wasn't nominated. 20 games and no DNF.
I'm back, baby.
Finally, there's the one to watch category, the upcoming title that's causing us to get a bit hot under the collar.
Ooh, what can you really not wait to get your grubby mitts on?
Just a few of the hotly anticipated games that are just around the corner are Modern Warfare 3, of course,
Battlefield 3,
Mass Effect 3,
Uncharted 3,
and Saints Row the Third.
Or if you're not totally obsessed with the number 3, there's also Skyrim,
Assassin's Creed Revelations,
and Tomb Raider.
It is exciting.
So exciting, you may begin to drool uncontrollably when you look at the full list.
That's all from us at Game On for this week.
Go to Facebook and like us at facebook.com/GameOnTV.
Always get it wrong. Do it now. Do it now, honestly, now. Pause it, go and do it, come back, unpause it.
Then watch this bit. We're off to stare open-mouthed at a list of games we don't own yet.
It was worth it. More gaming gaping next week. It's cool, isn't it?
The sleeve.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Makes me look cool.
Mine's next to my bed at home.
Probably doesn't look as cool. No? I've got the arm thing on for Deus Ex.
You just look like an idiot now. It sounded like a heavy goods vehicle stopping.
Hi, yeah, it's the ability to jump from the car you're controlling and into any other car on the map in order to strategically head off your opponents. Yeah, bye.
Who's that?
That was them asking, pray tell, what shifting is. Right, fine.
It seemed a bit gimmicky.
And ironically, I'm talking about an attempt to breathe life.
That's quite funny.
And I couldn't breathe.
It's news in briefs. Nat, I've read this wrong. Kicking is up.
That was the easiest line in the world now.
I know. And it'll be on display.
Display?
Again.
What noise?
It sounds like the bin men pulling up outside your house in the morning.
Okay. They are effectively panda bears, except they're not as horny. Not brief, Stan.
Oh, sorry.
Call
again.
of Duty... No briefs.
Oh,
Call of Duty Elite, you know. No briefs.
Oh, man, it looked at me.
Call of Duty Elite, you know, that upcoming... Oh, no briefs.
Oh, it winked at me.
No briefs, Dan.
Oh, how did you bend it that way?
Oh, stop. Say it winked at me, that's fine.
The great thing about looking at this list is... Did I sound controllably?
That's fine. You sounded out of control. Pause this, then go and do it. Yeah. Hey, Rambo, Rambo Italiano. So it goes.